Hello, everyone. Just wanted to let you know that I miss you guys. Wish I could be there, kind of. I'm in Florida right now, enjoying time with my family and new kiddo, but wanted to be able to join you also. So this is my attempt to do so. So I'm going to open up the grants discussion and then give it over to Evelyn for the voting pieces. So quickly, we are recommending 16 grants that total $497,412 for you to consider today. And so what I'm going to do quickly is go down through the goals that we've all agreed upon and how this grant cycle really fits them and how, sometimes there's variations from cycle to cycle. And so if you look at your grant packet, I'm just starting with page 1. So the first goal is to balance the grant portfolio between the women and girls and people with disabilities. If we approve it as recommended by the grants committee, 56% will go to women and girls, 44% to individuals with disabilities and projects, obviously. And this, as I said, changes cycle to cycle. The next goal is investing grant dollars throughout the region. And so one of the areas that we wanted to focus on was to spread our impact over Southwest and the entire region. And so with this current cycle, about 65% of the funds are specific to Allegheny County, 35% is the Southwest region. The next goal, invest grant dollars across our 3 strategies for social change. So we have really worked on kind of honing in on our strategies for social change, and these are improving the lives of individuals through direct service, capacity building, and systemic change. And if you go back through that paper, you'll see that 26% is for direct service, 31% is for capacity building, and 43% is systemic change. So it's a nice divide. If you look further down that sheet, you will see how they are divided up and how each of the grants fall into at least one of these categories. The next goal is monitor investments in the 3 priority areas. And so you'll see that the first priority area is to improve health and well-being. And that in this current cycle is at 6%. Then the next priority 2, at 17%, is to prevent sexual assault and domestic violence. And then the third priority, which this cycle is 77%, is to remove societal barriers and promote equitable opportunities. This will vary as well and often kind of evens out by the end of each fiscal year. Then the next goal, to assess the diversity in board leadership. And we really started taking greater strides to this over the past couple of years. There are charts on page 2, and you can see that there's I would say, pretty nice number that have over 50% of their board being women. There's some work to do for people of color and a lot of work to do for people with disabilities, which is something exciting that we can continue to work on and encourage our individuals who are applying for grants to work on. Then another goal is to monitor intersectionality in grant making. And so for this cycle, 13 of the 16 proposals that we are recommending funding have some focus on intersectionality between gender, disability, and or race. And they are also, those grants are listed. The next goal is to increase the grants to small or grassroots organizations. You will see that most of our grants are below medium or smaller organizations. And that's a really amazing change that a lot of grant makers are still not doing. Then the next goal is to increase grants to organizations led by women, people with disabilities, and or people of color. So 16 organizations actually volunteered this information on their executive directors. Of the individual organizations who were recommending to be funded, 12 of them are led by women or other gender, so not identifying as male. 8 of them are people of color, and 2 of them disclose disability. Grant distribution status and budget as of today. So there was a little bit of money that was not spent last year and was returned to us through one of the grants that was given to Achieva. And so there was some money given back on that. And they were just not able to spend it. But then we also today are looking at the amounts that we're recommending for grant distributions. And so grants to be paid out to date so far. We have the grant payments that were due before June 30th, which are often the multi-year grants that were improved in previous years. Those totaled $170,000. Then the proposals we're looking at today and recommending funding are for $497,412, which between the money that we have to pay in multi-year grants and those we're asking the board to consider today, we are totaling right around $683,412. Then we can look at the amount that we're still under budget, which is $837,982. We historically have approved the executive director and project officers to approve discretionary funds up to $5,000 for an organization that needs a small amount of support that aligns with our mission. Right now, we have approved for multiple years $100,000 to be used as seen fit by Christy and staff. But so far, paid to date is $21,000, which leaves $79,000 for other discretionary grants through the remainder of this grant cycle and fiscal year. So the only other thing that I wanted to mention to all of you is that if you have questions about discretionary grants, how they're funded, how they're decided upon, reach out to Christy or the staff at FISA, and they would be more than happy, I'm sure, to chat with you. And so thanks for listening. Enjoy your meeting. And I'm going to turn it over to Christy, Shani, and Evelyn. Thanks, everyone.